What's up, guys, and welcome back. It is an absolutely beautiful day here on the homestead. We're at 66 degrees today. Got the sleeves rolled up, have my shorts on, and it's an exciting day because we are ready to get started finally on our new video series, our lean-to and garden build. If this is your first time here checking out our channel, please subscribe and hit that little bell icon. It'll keep you updated on what we have going on, and we'd love to have you here on the channel. Humbly, we really do need the help, so hit that subscribe button. Well, all right, so if you haven't been here, if you're new, what we're doing is we're building a lean-to off the side of our house. This portion of our house right here is a pantry slash half garage. Well, it's a half garage that's going to become a pantry. Anyway, we're gonna build a lean-to off the top of this. It's gonna come out 10 feet, right about to here. The purpose of that lean-to is it's gonna be parking for our ATV. We're probably gonna have a lawnmower in there, a dump cart. We're gonna park that right alongside of the house here. We'll have a farm gate on both sides so we can get in and out. On the other side of this lean-to, we're gonna have a vegetable washing station, or basically a long table that spans the length of the house. We're gonna have a sink in it, we'll have some ceiling fans up here. We can clean and wash all of our vegetables because our garden will be right next to our lean-to. So we'll be able to clean and wash all of our vegetables. We're gonna be getting into harvesting our own meat birds, our own chickens here in the homestead very, very soon. So we'll have a nice covered place to do that with a sink and tables as well. So that's going to be kind of instrumental for us. I just think it's going to be this really great in-between place to be able to handle and wash all this stuff in between the garden and bring it into the house. So without further ado, the first thing we need to do in any type of build is I'm going to start getting some measurements. So it's kind of hard when you're finding a point of measurement that's out in the middle of nowhere. So what we're going to do is we're going to work everything off this house. So I'm going to go ahead and get my tape. We're gonna measure 10 feet off the house because that's gonna be the width of the lean-to, and we're gonna mark the ground on each corner. So we've got two corners marked, one there and one there from the corners of the house. There's gonna be 3 posts right here for our lean-to, so I'm gonna go ahead and find center on the wall and mark that. We're actually gonna find center, put a piece of rebar, and then come out and mark my center post. So the next thing we need to do is measure off from one corner to the far corner of where our post is gonna be. And we've got 23 feet 4 inches. We want to do the same thing on the other side, basically measuring a crisscross type of orientation. That's how you can tell that each post off the lean-to on the corners are going to be square to the building. All right, guys, so we've got our first post marked, spray painted where the second post is going to be, and our third post marked right there. So this is all squared up with the house, and I squared it up by using what's called the 3-4-5 method. For anyone who doesn't know, I wish I would have still left it up so you guys can see. You place one post up against the house here, you come a foot off of your edge, and then you put another one right back here. So you're basically making a straight line. Then you're gonna go, you're gonna come on a 45 to it, and then you put another, so you wrap a string around it, come on this one, wrap a string around that, wrap around a string around that, then come out straight. And then what you do is you measure 3 feet to the end, 4 feet, and then on your last measurement, you measure 5, and wherever 5 foot happens to be when you're moving your string, as soon as you hit that 5 foot mark, you're completely level, or square, should I say, to the corner of the house. So measure 3 foot, 4 foot, and 5 foot, and that'll give you a perfect square every time. All right, so our lean-to area is all square. We started running a string line here off the corner of what's going to be the lean-to area, out past the last post to the next post. String over there, string over here, and that gives us our garden. So now that we got that all laid out, the dimensions of the garden turned out to be 38 feet long by 24 feet wide this way. I originally planned on like 40 by 22. So roughly the same. It came out to be a little bit shorter lengthwise, but we got 2 more feet on this side. So I think it's about the same amount of square footage either way you slice it. So we're gonna be building our garden out of 4x4, pressure treated 4x4s. I know what you're thinking, lumber prices are crazy. Why would you pay nearly 13 bucks a piece for 4x4s? Well, that's what they cost. So that's what we have to pay. I could have made it out of round post. I thought about doing that, but you know, this kind of faces the front of our house. Not faces the front of our house, but the front of the garden will be the front of the house. And I think she wants more of an aesthetic appeal. So I think the 4x4s will be better suited for this. Plus, since we're building our lean-to with standard lumber, I think just having the garden match everything will look a lot better. So I went and picked up some 4x4s, as you can see. And I think we're about ready to get those unloaded now. Once my little guy gets out here. He's just about done from school. So one other thing that I wanted to point out that I guess will become clear as the build goes on is that you can see our string is just about touching the ground right here. And as we come down this side, we're just about the top of that T-post right there. And about halfway up that T-post on that side. So our ground slopes this way. And what I want to do, you know, I could do a step-to garden where I put my post here and then put my post down a little bit further and another post down a little bit further. And I can do that and that would be just fine. But since I have this slope, I figured why not make it work towards my advantage. So what I'm thinking about doing, or what I am going to do, is we have our posts on here, 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 and here. We're going to board this bottom up. Okay, basically making like one giant raised bed, so to speak. It'll be shallower on that side, deeper on this side. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to have 2 foot, like a 2 foot wide C-shaped raised bed going around the entire inside of half of this garden. Okay, so basically we'll have, you know, flat ground garden, and then we'll have a raised bed over here. So, you know, everyone likes to do raised beds, and some people want to do, you know, right on the ground. I figure this is the best of both worlds. We'll take advantage of the slope and direct sow right in the ground after we till it and put our compost, and then we'll have raised beds here. Now, I don't know if it's showing up too well on the camera or not, but you'll notice there's no string across the front of the garden. That's because I'm gonna have a load of compost and garden soil, organic garden soil dumped. So I need room for a truck to back up in here. Also, the area in the previous video where we dumped all these wood chips in front from the shed to the driveway, I did wood chips because at another point in time, if we ever want to expand this garden, that gives us an extra almost, well, 15, maybe 20 feet in that direction that we could expand to. I originally wanted to put gravel there going to the shed, but once you put gravel in the soil, it's never coming out. So I think having the wood chips there, it'll break down, it'll create organic matter. If we ever want to extend this garden, we got plenty of room to do it. This, you know, all 3 sides will be permanently posted in with wood, and it'll be permanent, and we'll have fencing up. But the front we're gonna leave in a temporary configuration for right now, just because we might do future expansion. All right, so I guess you can call that phase 1 of this project, which I think is the most important part of any type of project like this, is we've got our measurements down, we've got everything all strung out, we know where everything's gonna be. So, you know, it's also kind of nice because you get a visual representation of what you're gonna be seeing. So I'm happy with it so far. I think the next step, I think I probably should do this first and get that header up there. I'll see you guys, you know, in a second for you, but in a day for me. All right, guys, I'm back. I may have lied a little bit. It wasn't my intention, but today we had a large gravel delivery show up. I ordered about 15 tons of gravel because I have a circular drive in the front of my house. And I also wanted to gravel that area where we're doing the lean-to. So I got 15 yards gravel, and he had a really hard time getting it dumped because the circular drive is not exactly the largest in the world. It's kind of tight for a dump truck. Remember, this isn't hand spraying. This is a guy coming with a dump truck, lifting his bed and opening the tailgate and letting the gravel flow. So he did the best he could. Anyway, that ended up taking a bunch of time, a lot longer than I expected. All right, as promised, we're back. We gotta go to the store, pick up a couple more pieces of lumber, and get going on our ledger board. Garden's all laid out. Gravel where the lean-to area is laid out. Everything's looking good. I think we're ready to start building. Well, all right, guys, here we go with our ledger board. What we've done is went ahead and measured out where our rafters are gonna be. They're gonna be 24 inches on center. It's just a lean-to. There's no snow load here, so that'll be fine. So I like to use a website called blocklayer.com to get all of my measurements for my rafters. As you can see here, you just kind of plug in your information, your wall length, your wall width, etc., etc. You scroll down here. Let me get this scrolled for you. It shows you what your rafters look like from above right there. Then if we go down even further, it gives you your rafter spacing and your mark out down at the bottom of the screen. Since I'm one ladder short of some help, I'm using my ladder to prop it up in position, and the remaining ledger board to hold that one up in position while we start drilling. I don't know what I'm going to use to support this ledger board once I get up here, but we'll have to figure something out. Traditionally, what you would use to hold a ledger board to the wall would be sleeve anchors. Basically a sleeve, you drill like a 7/16 or 3/8 hole, I believe it is, pound the sleeve into the brick, and then you can screw your bolt into that and bolt your, put your washer and your nut, and your wood slides over it. I'm not doing that in this case. I'm using something that I call hit pins that I used to use a lot on my last job. They're concrete nail drive anchor is what they look like. Now, I know people are gonna give me a lot of crap about that, but this wall is not a solid brick wall. This is a brick facade with a frame behind it. I don't want to drill 7/16 inch holes into this brick facade and risk crumbling the brick and destroying things. These hip pins are plenty strong, just for a simple lean-to. It's a nice 1/4 inch hole, and it'll do just fine to hold this ledger board up. All right, so we got our ledger board completely hung. Now we're starting to get some 4x4s in the ground. All right, so that's today's progress. As you guys saw previously, we used Simpson strong ties for ground anchors for these 4x4s. The reason for that is because there's such a slope right here, and this is the lowest area, right where the edge of that gravel is, and it gets really, really muddy and really soft, which is why I did not want to sink the post in the ground. So there is going to be a third post right in the middle, but it's about 6 o'clock. I'm pretty tired, and I try to get it done as quick as I could because we're going to get like rain for the next, I don't know how many days, but I'm pretty happy with the progress from today. Anyway, guys, you get the basic idea. The lean-to is starting to take shape. Then we got the whole garden area behind me. You can see it strung out right here. Let me get you turned around. So you can kind of see the whole thing in the frame. This would be the front corner right here. Let me go 40 feet back over there, and then there'll be a post there, another post there. Now we're gonna do 4-foot woven wire fence around this side, around the back, but it's gonna, you know, as the ground slopes, it's gonna be up higher. There's gonna be a space underneath. So what we're gonna do, that's where we're gonna start our raised beds all along this side. So it'll be probably 2 or 2.5 foot raised bed in a C shape all along this side to make up for the difference of the slope here. And then we'll still stretch the 4-foot woven wire on the top of it to keep the animals out. Well, guys, I think that's going to do it for this video. Stay tuned. We'll get more of this garden build going. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. Thanks, guys.